Is independent consultancy something you can ease into and not necessarily jump into and do full time? As you,
Actually, no.
I'm sure you've talked to many executives, we're at times a little risk averse. There's a lot on the line here. Why should I leave this to do that is always a fair question.
Absolutely. Actually, it's something we've seen quite a bit more of in the last few years. I could share, I could give you probably a handful of examples off the top of my head of consultants that we have in our network right now that are doing this as sort of a part-time. One of our ladies, Maria, she's a counselor by trade. She's got a full-time job. And what she's doing is she says, I don't want to be a counselor for very long, for much longer. I want to get out of it, but I don't want to quit that. And then all of a sudden I'm at that cliff and there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Revenue goes down to nothing. So what she did, she said, how can I start to do some of my marketing, do some of my networking, build some of my network out there, start to generate some small projects, doing a coaching client here, a small company of 5 employees here that can start me under that path so I can get some experience under my belt so that when I decide 6 months from now, a year from now, that, what, it's time for me to, be done with the social, that side of things. I want to start this business. I'm not starting from scratch. I'm not starting from ground zero. We have another gentleman who's employed full time in a manufacturing plant. He works 55 hours a week. He spends 5-10 hours a week, one morning a week before the office opens, a day on the weekend, going out and starting to developing that networking side. We have another guy who is no longer part-time, but when he came on board with us, that was the deal. He said, I'm ready to retire.
Mm-hmm.
He's at that time of his age. I'm ready to retire, but I don't want to do nothing. But at the same time, financially, I still need to be generating revenue. But I'm done with corporate America. He was experienced enough within his organization that he could decide when he wanted to leave. And so what he did was he said, all right, I'm going to leave a year from now. But what I want to do is a year from now, I want to know that I've got business already starting in that pipeline, ready to fall out, ready to start working. So it was, for him, became very comfortable, and it took away a lot of that fear. Because you're right, Tony, sometimes jumping in with both feet can be scary. Bottom line, it can be. And I'd say probably easing in is probably the only way to get completely rid of that fear, or that scare factor.